Incredible.
Okay, so now we've moved on from Star Wars, so let's get a little bit into Marvel. Is there any Marvel fans out there?
Yeah, if you could pronounce Marvel correctly, not Marvel.
So
but
you
I
might
know
have seen
that's
a
odd.
small game called Spider-Man at E3.
Oh,
It
it's
closed out the Sony
beautiful.
press conference. Pretty big deal. So let's bring on stage right now Bill Roseman, the executive creative director at Marvel Games, and Brian Intihar,
Intihar's greater.
director at Insomniac Games.
Yes, because he fueled this project, and it is phenomenal. Oh my goodness, this game was beautiful. I hope they talk about the second one at the panel this year. I'm pessimistic about it, but I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
Like Midnight Sun's
Right?
definitely gonna be there.
Empire State University. Is that where you went?
It's an amazing institution of higher learning.
Guys, we're so incredibly excited about Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
We're all a bunch of webheads here, right, guys?
Yeah. It
A
rocks.
little bit. Can you talk about the game and what goes into creating it? Because it's massive. This is a big game.
It is.
It's
big,
phenomenal.
And I mean, it's funny you mention that because it's our most ambitious game yet. I mean, it's really unprecedented to have Marvel working with Insomniac and Sony. And yes, it's going to be huge. It's going to be massive. But at the same time, we're really telling a very personal
it really
and
was.
human story. And I
Personal
was
story.
reminded of that yesterday. I was actually sitting out there, and I was watching Joe Quesada during his Cup of Joe talk.
Yeah, that was a
And he
great
telling the
panel.
story when
Where he
was
talks about
hired.
Stan Lee. It was a great panel.
And he
Joe
went
Quesada is
into
great.
Stan Lee's office.
Tell you love
And he
Marvel.
said, Stan, what's the key to telling a Marvel story, creating a Marvel character? And Stan said, hey, you can have a character in a cool costume on the edge of a building, and they can jump off, and you can look and say, well, that's a pretty cool costume. But Stan said, if you can get the people to care about the person under the mask, if you get to know who they are, who they're fighting for, what they care about, then when that character jumps off the building, you are with them jumping off the building. And when I was a kid and I read my Spider-Man comics, whatever was going on in my life, it went away.
Yeah.
And I was with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Beautiful story.
And so when we decided
How
to make
Stan Lee
the
is
game,
true.
we wanted to find a partner who understood that, who not only could tell amazing stories, who not only had a spectacular level of quality, and could
I can't wait to see
also
what they do with
bring
Wolverine.
the fun of
Yeah.
Spider-Man. But most importantly, we wanted to find friends who grew up with Spider-Man just like us.
Mm-hmm.
And we found that perfect partner in Insomniac.
Go Insomniac.
Aww. Love that.
You guys are going to make us cry up here.
Love
make me cry.
it.
So, as he said, Insomniac, huge pedigree, very great wealth library of games, and we all love them, and they're super fun to
Yeah,
play.
didn't they also
can you tell
do
us why you
Spyro?
chose to do a Spider-Man game this time around?
It's Spider-Man. I mean,
Good answer.
It's Spider-Man.
I mean,
Jeez.
for me and for everybody in Insomniac, I mean, quite frankly, this is a dream come true. I mean, look at that character. I mean, look,
Badass.
Yeah.
we are just like everybody out there. We are fans. We love this character. We love Marvel. And when it comes to Spider-Man, he just fits our studio culture, our personality so well, from his sense of humor to the relatability to telling that human story, but also swinging around New York City, all those gadgets, all the quips. It fits Insomniac perfectly.
Indeed
Yeah.
does.
So, Bill, it's a new universe and it's a new story. It still has the DNA of actually being Spider-Man. But
Oh,
can you tell us
definitely.
a bit about the new world that you guys are creating?
Yeah, well, we were really inspired, in fact, by there was a comic book series called Ultimate Spider-Man.
So good.
Yes.
Might have heard of
Yes.
it.
So good.
And when they launched that
It's
book,
amazing.
they were retelling the Spider-Man story from the very beginning, but in a
Very
new
influential
way.
to
They wanted
comic
to
book
keep
history.
readers guessing, and we were really inspired by that. So you will
Yeah, they
see
implemented
some
the
very
story
familiar
really well.
faces, but you will see them in new positions. You'll see a mix of characters you know very well, and then there may be some characters that you don't know, but that you're soon going to love. So we want to keep everybody on the edge of your seats and tell an all-new original Spider-Man story. We're going to tell our Spider-Man story.
They did a
so
really good
cool.
job. A phenomenal job.
So, did you bring a video for us, Bill?
Did
Well, I
you?
think not only do we have a video, well, why don't you take it away, because
All right.
you're in it.
So, as I said, I'm up here representing Insomniac, but I'm just part of an amazing team in Burbank and in North Carolina that are working on Spider-Man. And video game development is challenging, tough, but also exciting. And we have a little piece that shows you what it goes into making Spider-Man.
Alrighty, this is gonna be awesome because I can't wait to see how the game's changed. It's no longer only on
greatest thing
PlayStation, but
about
okay.
working on a Spider-Man game is that you're working on a Spider-Man game.
Oh, the UI looks so different, but it still looks beautiful. Oh my god.
The hardest thing is that it's a Spider-Man game. We really care about storytelling here at Insomniac.
And the story was phenomenal. Brian Inchar, you deserve a credit where credit's due. You saved this game.
One of the most compelling things about Spider-Man is just when Peter Parker and Spider-Man's worlds collide. And we've tried really hard to
the UI looks
weave
so
the two
different.
stories together to create a story that is not necessarily just a superhero story, but a human story as well.
Oh yeah, the story is
this
phenomenal.
Spider-Man is a little different. He's older. He's 23, so he's been Spider-Man for 8 years. And
Okay, that's good to know
like
there's some
an athlete
time.
in the prime of his career, he's starting to get good at the Spider-Man thing.
The nice thing
Yeah.
about playing an experienced Spider-Man is that he's already familiar with his powers, right? He's not just discovering them.
We always think of
That's what they
Spider-Man
had
as
Miles
we call him, the
Morales kinda do
acrobatic
that with.
improviser. He's looking for not only how he can take advantage of the way the enemies are positioned, but what around him. Could he use this object to grab with
Oh
his
man,
webs
this
and throw
game
it
was
in?
great.
We want people to not only see the enemies in front of them, but the environment around to take advantage of both of them.
He also knows that the criminals out in the city know how he works as well, so he's got to mix it up.
So even though he is more experienced, the challenges are going to be bigger than he's ever faced before.
Yeah, with Mr. Negative.
Spider-Man has a rich history of having great stories.
Ooh.
The core of our story is this duality between being Peter Parker
That's
and
like my
being
room right
Spider-Man.
now. Kingpin,
What's cool
hello.
about Mr. Negative is that
Yeah.
he also has a duality. He's got his positive side as Martin Lee, who runs the homeless shelters in the city, but he also has his negative side.
When Peter makes the connection that the leader of the inner demons is the guy who my aunt works for, we got the perfect collision of those two worlds.
Yeah, too bad Doc Ock was the main villain, but still, it was a good story.
So many people have their own vision of what Spider-Man should look like, what he should
Yeah,
sound
but
like.
they did
and
a
in the
great
end, we just
job
have
with
to
the
put
white
a new
symbol.
and fresh twist
It
on
was
who he is.
phenomenal.
And for us, it's really, really important to deliver those big spectacle moments, those near impossible scenarios that only someone like Spider-Man can survive, and put you in that action. You got this, you got this, you got this. We understand what this character means to people in here, and we're making this game with a lot of heart, and we're going to do
Oh, yeah,
whatever
they
it
did a
takes
great
to give
job.
people the ultimate Spider-Man
This is giving me
experience, the game
goosebumps.
that they've been waiting for.
Not the most flattering of images, Barton, but it was still phenomenal.
Oh man.
2018, that date was actually pretty accurate.
It's so good.
Yeah!
Good. I am
I've
chilled.
seen that video like 200 times, and I still smile after every time I see it.
It's
That's great.
incredible. I cosplay like as Spider-Gwen,
Yep.
and I love the Spideyverse. So I'm
Huh?
Wait, so when am I going to see the White Spider version of your?
when is it? I got my suit. I'll be right back.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
No, okay, we'll just finish this up, guys. There was something we had never seen before in that video. There was Peter's apartment, and he was fighting Fisk. That's exciting.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we wanted to bring something new to the D23 crowd, right? So those two scenes that you
They're
saw,
actually the beginning.
they talk about those colliding worlds. Like, we're going to get very personal. So you see where Peter Parker lives when he has the mask off. You see what's all in his room, and all those elements make Peter who he is. And so we're getting very, very personal and intimate with Peter. And then at the same time, you see him, once he pulls on that mask, he goes out in the world and he fights huge characters like Wilson Fisk. So again, we're going to see, it's a fresh new way to see both sides of this character's life that we love.
And that's just really a small glimpse at some of the characters you're going to see in this game.
Yeah, that's
We
just
have
the
an-
opening.
an- yeah, that's just the opening of the game, in the beginning of the game. So we have a huge cast, lots of villains, lots of them.
Yes.
And I think people are going to be pretty excited.
I'm extremely
I'm
excited.
pretty excited too.
Even though I've already played the game. Oh my goodness.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the story side of the new Spider-Man game, but everyone wants to know, I want to know about, and everyone's worried about it, is the web swing, the traversal, the parkour. Can you tell us a bit about that?
As Peter says in the video, we got this. We got it. We're gonna
Yeah,
be good.
it was
We're gonna be
handled
okay.
incredibly well.
Yes, nailing
It feels like
the
you're playing Spider-Man.
web swinging is crucial. It's a requirement. And I mean, even since, E3 was a month ago, we've already improved our web swinging. It's easier to gain speed now. Yes, we've read all the feedback online and we're reading all that stuff. We listen to you guys a lot.
That's great.
And we are, constantly looking to improve the game. So, we want to continue to have that sense of flow, fluidity, no obstacles too big for him to overcome. And that takes, get that with the traversal, but also in the combat. Combat's evolving every single day. You saw one of the gadgets, that web tripwire, right? Well,
Yeah.
you can stick it in objects, but I can also stick it onto an enemy. And if they're close enough, they just slam into each other. So we want to have gadgets that really allow him to have a lot of fun during combat as well.
That's awesome.
Indubitably.
Can't wait to play it.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, Brian.
Thank you for having me, guys. Have a great show.
Yeah, it was a great show. That was another great highlight. So good job.